are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Feel like a dynamite, ready to explore right up in the sky. I need you to listen, I need you to hear, and don't show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. From town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. I'm walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been
Give me 2 seconds, guys. Hello, everybody, folks, and a good evening to all, folks, and welcome back aboard here, folks, to Real Football. My name is Tom, and I'll bring you the watch along, folks, this Friday evening for Middlesbrough take on West Bromwich Albion live in the EFL Championship. If you do are watching on the replay, then please do make sure that you are leaving a like on the stream, hit that subscribe button if you are new. And thank you very much indeed, folks, that everybody's joy is here today. The kickoff is coming your way at 8 o'clock in the Championship for this one between Middlesbrough and West Bromwich Albion at the Riverside Stadium. Kickoff is at 8 o'clock at the Riverside Stadium. It's Middlesbrough against West Bromwich Albion. So this is our first Championship stream of the season. I know, crazy to say that. I should have done one a little bit previously, but we haven't. But here it is. We'll do a few more, of course, across the season. Hopefully quite a few more. But this is the first Championship stream of the season. We're doing Middlesbrough against West Bromwich Albion. And by no coincidence, are Middlesbrough top of the pile. In a moment, we will be having a little deep delve into that all-important league table, but Middlesbrough are happy at the top. Could they go all the way? Could they win the Championship? Could they earn promotion? Well, we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully they don't stop Coventry City, the team who I want up so badly, in their tracks. But of course, it is a competition, and Middlesbrough at the minute are the best in the competition in the Championship. Meanwhile, for West Bromwich Albion, it was a home defeat, which was actually a first win for Derby County. That was Derby County's second win against West Bromwich Albion this season, after also knocking out of the Carabao Cup. And also then a league win was Derby County's first win of the season at the Hawthorns. Last time out for the Baggies, I think, anyway, unless they played in midweek. But yeah. Welcome into Ashik. How you doing, Ashik? Good to see you. Welcome aboard to you. And I've got Taki here as well. Welcome into Taki, Arsenal fan. Hello, hello, hello. How you doing? Welcome aboard to everybody. Hope we're all doing well. So yes, a couple of minutes, then we'll get you on to Flash Score, which is what we're going to be using tonight, because I don't know these teams that well, although I do recognise a couple of names from both sets of teams. Of course, Matt Targett is one of them. Also, by the looks of things, Luke Ayling, a former Leeds United captain and fullback / centre-back. And I recognise quite a few, actually, from West Brom. Campbell, I recognise. Mepham, I recognise. Diakite sounds like a familiar name. I don't think it's one that I recognise, though, too much. Nat Phillips, I know. Yeah, there's a lot of names there that I know. So I'm not going to need it too much, but just in case. For the Championship, we like to just have the lineups on backup just in case we do need them. Whilst I'm here, let's do the Ladbrokes 1, 2, 3. We have played it, and we've got a Fulham 2-1 win against Brentford as the first score that I predicted. Sunderland to beat Aston Villa by 2 goals, then Arsenal to win 3-0 against Manchester City. Bet Builder is worth £1.78. It's on a £1 stake. We've got Middlesbrough to win or draw. Over 0.5 goals and over 7.5 corners. Once again, £1 is returning £1.78 on that one. And then there is a price boost as well for Middlesbrough, Olympic Lyonnais and Real Betis all to win. If that happens, 50p will return £3.25 on that single price boost on the Friday enhanced ACCA. Right then, folks, it is 7:49 in the UK, so let's take a look at your team news and your match information at the Riverside Stadium. Here we go. Let's head over to Flash Score where we can take a look at the team news and your match information. Wi-Fi's not been a great day, is it? I only got 2 bars at the minute. Do apologise if that causes any quality issues within the stream. I will give it a reset in a minute. A little bit of a kick up the backside just to make sure that there is no issues with the quality of the stream. Right, we'll take a look firstly at the league table. We've got Middlesbrough top of the pile. They're on 13 points. They're just 1 point above Stoke City, who, after a defeat against, who was that against? It was against West Brom themselves, actually. Have responded with a win against Birmingham City. So 1 point above Stoke at the Middlesbrough after a 2-2 draw with Preston North End last time out. So Middlesbrough want to get all the 3 points today, and they will hope that Stoke drop points so that 1 point gap can increase a little bit more for them. But of course, Stoke are there, and Stoke will want to get all 3 points against Queen's Park Rangers tomorrow. Let's take a little look at Bristol City, who are 1 point behind, outside the top two. They have won their last two after drawing twice. They won against Hull and Sheffield Wednesday, 3-0 most recently. They are playing Oxford United on Sunday. Leicester City and West Bromwich Albion are both on 10 points. Form guides show that it's 3 wins, a loss, and a draw of most recent for Leicester, as they drew 2-2 with Oxford United. They next play Coventry City. I hope Coventry win that one because I want them promoted on Saturday tomorrow at 3 o'clock, I'm presuming, maybe 12:30, don't know. West Bromwich Albion play, obviously, this game. They lost to Derby, like I said, most recently. They've had a draw against Portsmouth, but 3 wins out of the last 5, and the Baggies could move level on points with Middlesbrough, but it would be goal difference holding West Brom back from the top of the table unless they can win by a 4 or 5 goal margin to surpass Middlesbrough on their goal difference. They would also surpass Stoke on goal difference because Stoke have a level goal difference with Middlesbrough, which makes things a whole lot more tight at the top of the table if Middlesbrough were to lose and Stoke were to draw. Although, for saying that, if Middlesbrough lose, their goal difference goes down, so Stoke would be top of the league. Coventry City are in 6th. Not too happy about that. Hope they get a win tomorrow against Leicester. They are on 9 points, can move up to 12. Let's have a look at the relegation zone, though, which is obviously Sheffield United on 0 points and a whopping -11 goal difference. Then we've got Sheffield Wednesday on 1 point for -9. Slightly better for Sheffield Wednesday, only just though. Oxford United on 2 points after 2 successive draws. So starting to get there, Oxford United. And after that win for Derby, they are now comfortably in 19th, 3 points clear of the relegation zone. And then in the mid-table zone, we've got Saints, big name, Norwich, Birmingham City, Portsmouth, Preston North End, and Swansea, who knocked Nottingham Forest out of the Carabao Cup in midweek. Could Swansea creep their way into that top 6 by the end of this weekend as they play against Birmingham City tomorrow? Well, we'll find out tomorrow on the 3 o'clock focus when we trial our new Soccer Saturday basic mock-up, if you like, as we are no longer doing individual 3 o'clock kickoffs anymore in the Premier League on Realltom Football. We're now going to be doing just a whole set of 3 o'clock kickoffs, a bit of a Soccer Saturday style show. We'll be keeping our eyes across the scores. We'll be chit-chatting, and it's going to hopefully go well, but I don't know if I can promise that. Right, let's have a look at the team news before we run out of time here. So, your team news then is who are you? Solomon Bryn is in goal for Middlesbrough. A back four today of the former Leeds United fullback and captain of Luke Ayling alongside Edmondson, George Edmondson that is, and Alfie Jones in a back three playing behind a midfield 4, which sees Matt Targett, the former Villa fullback and Newcastle as well. He can invert obviously back into the back 4 any time from midfield if he needs to. And then joined by Hayden Hackney, Aidan Morris and Callum Britton, and then the diamond front three sees Housef Sever Nijpen alongside Strelick. That's David Strelick, and then leading the front of the diamond is Tommy Conway. And on the Middlesbrough bench, we've got Alex Bangura, Alan Brown, Delano Bergzorg, Henson, Sonja Henson, Abdoulaye Conte. I don't think he's related to N'Golo Conte. I wouldn't think so if he's Irish. John McLaughlin, the goalkeeper. And then we've got Callie Sen. Samuel Silvera, and Morgan Whittaker. Then we've got 2 missing players. Dale Fry is inactive, unspecified reason for being unavailable. And then we've got Riley McGree, the Australian, I think, or New Zealandman, whatever, with a muscle injury, which keeps him out of this one. Then for West Bromwich Albion in their lineup, we've got Joshua Griffiths in goal, a back 4 of George Campbell, Nat Phillips, Chris Mepham, and Callum Stiles, playing behind a midfield which is split into 2 parts, a defensive 2 of Jason Malumbi and Alex Mowat, playing behind the attacking 3 of Jed Wallace, Isaac Price, and Usman Diakite, then leading the front by himself is the lone striker of Orna Hegabo, and on the bench for West Bromwich Albion is Christian Bielik, Oliver Bostock, Toby Collier, Alfie Gilchrist, Samuel Illing Jr., Mikey Johnston, Josh Magia, we know who he is, former Fulham man, actually, a couple of years back, Charlie Taylor, and Joe Wildsmith. I do think he's a former Derby County goalkeeper, can't be sure of that. Ryan Mason is the Middlesbrough manager, and we've got Rob Edwards, the former Luton man, in charge of Middlesbrough. Sorry, Ryan Mason in charge of West Brom. There are 4 absentees for West Bromwich Albion, in which is Tama Bani out with a muscle injury, Daryl Dyke out with a muscle injury also. Carlin Grant is inactive and unspecified reason. And then we've got Alex Williams out with an ankle injury. So that is your team news then, and we are just about ready to get for kickoff on Teesside for Middlesbrough against West Bromwich Albion for a Premier League weekend, which is very exciting. We've got a Merseyside derby and Manchester United versus Chelsea as the 2 feature matches tomorrow, with the 3 o'clock focus as well, getting underway for you guys from 2:45 the normal time. There will be no individual 3 o'clock match at 3 o'clock match though anymore. It will be all matches in the Premier League at 3 o'clock, and we'll also be keeping our eyes across the other scores across England, Scotland, and Wales as well, and any other scores which pop out. Now, there is a tribute today. I did see this on Middlesbrough's Twitter page, in which is that cancer has no colours. Rest in peace, Tibby, is the post. So there may be a moment's respect in favour of somebody called Tibby. Just a little bit of a heads up with that one. Welcome into Shock Up. Welcome into Nathan Clark. And then we've got no mate. No Harlem Masterclass. No Harlem Masterclass. Absolutely not. So can Middlesbrough stay top of the league? Can they stay clear of the surprise package in Stoke City, who are also high flying? We're going to find out with this exciting match on Teesside between Middlesbrough and West Bromwich Albion. Yes, big occasion. Hopefully Coventry City get the win, because I do want Coventry City to be promoted to the Premier League. I am demanding it. I really want Coventry up. So I'm going to be keeping my eyes on them, and I'm going to be pressing them a little bit when they lose. Sorry to break any Middlesbrough or Stoke City fans' hearts there, but yeah, Coventry are the team who I definitely want up this season. So, yeah. But yes, do not forget, folks, tomorrow morning at 12:30, you can join us at 12:15 for that Merseyside derby. It's at Anfield. It's live on TNT Sports, as always, at Saturday lunchtime. And it is Liverpool against Everton. Should be a big one, and it will be a big one at Anfield tomorrow, kicking off at 12:30. You can join us for the build-up and the match. Watch along at 12:15. We're off and running, though, on Teesside for Middlesbrough against West Bromwich Albion. And I think there's already a corner inside the first. It's a rather unusual corner. It's actually a West Brom corner. They're in there. A very familiar colour, actually, of strip. Yellow and green stripes. And that's an early chance and a big save needed early on from Bryn in the Middlesbrough goal. Yeah, denies that Phillips. So West Brom on top in the early stages on Teesside. Looking for a response to their first defeat of the season, which was at the Hawthorns. So technically, West Bromwich Albion are unbeaten away from home. That must mean if their first defeat of the season came to Derby at the Hawthorns in the league. So Middlesbrough have work to do, but they're top of the league. They need to show that they are the team worthy of being there. And that's pumped forward, but no meaning to the ball forward that time. And West Brom are going to come forward. They've got the ball. They've worked it wide to the right. Here is Jed Wallace, who's been flagged offside for West Bromwich Albion. The captain just straying offside there. I didn't fully suspect it, but once I saw the flag, I knew that he was off. So an early offside, and that's going to be a free kick to Middlesbrough. Foul in the back of Hegemon, the striker. Well, Rob Edwards is actually huge for Rob Edwards, this, because I mean, if he can get Middlesbrough back to the Premier League, I don't know actually, but just stop me there. I don't know Middlesbrough's history that well. I don't know if Middlesbrough have been in the Premier League before. So I apologise if you've not been in the Premier League before, but I think you have. But I'm not sure. If I've got that wrong, I'm sorry. But for Rob Edwards, if he can bring them back to the Premier League after what's happened with Luton for him, after getting promoted and then coming back down, going down twice, it could be a huge stepping point in his career. It could be a big moment for him if he can bring Middlesbrough up, you know what I mean? Because, yeah, I mean, Luton was an incredible story waiting to be finished. And it has finished, unfortunately, in a bad way. But now can he, as the Middlesbrough manager, bring this team to potentially not only a league title, but also promotion? I mean, okay, promotion through the playoffs is probably better because it's more exciting and it's the money tournament. However, if he can win the championship with this Middlesbrough team, then that just goes to show, well, hang on a minute. Yeah, I am a worthy manager. Obviously, he'll need to make sure that he doesn't get relegated twice again. You know what I mean? I mean, getting relegated from the Premier League back to the Championship is fine. You know what I mean? It happens. But to get relegated to League One after being relegated from the Premier League, that is where you ask questions of your manager straight away and really get frustrated at the team. As a fan, nobody wants that to happen. So for Rob Edwards, it's going to be an interesting season for him. I mean, right now, Middlesbrough are only just top of the pile, 1 point above Stoke. Can they be consistent? Can they go and get promoted? It's going to be interesting to see. Here's Hegabo trying to find the space, and it's a good effort by the striker, but just wide in the end. And good evening to Kate and Jonathan. Good to see you. Welcome aboard to you. Welcome aboard to Kate and Jonathan. Welcome in. Is that a new profile picture? I think it is. I think it is. We're in the 6th minute then. Middlesbrough 0, West Bromwich Albion 0. So far, each side has got forward. Each side has had a shot. And one goalkeeper's had to make a save so far, and that was Bryn in the Middlesbrough goal. No save required yet from Griffiths in the West Bromwich Albion goal. I thought so. And that is ricochet back off the Middlesbrough number 3, Matt Target, former Villa man, of course, and out for a throw-in earned by Jed Wallace for West Bromwich Albion. That's out for a throw-in once more. Once again earned by Jed Wallace for the Baggies. Oh, nice. Caravan. Well, have a clue where I spent the remains of my, well, no, the first week or so of September. Yes. I was on holiday. Can you guess where? Can anybody, because I did tell people, but I want to see if you guys can, if you guys know. If you don't know, have a guess. Well, the referee's just holding play here because there's 2 balls on the pitch. I am going to give the Wi-Fi a slight kick at the backside. I'm not getting reports of lag, but I can see that I'm only on 2 bars. So I'm just going to potentially go off screen for a second because I'm going to just reset the Wi-Fi and give it a quick kick at the backside. So just bear with me. Hopefully, yeah, so there we go. I've come back on. Hopefully that sorted it out. And yes, it was Bournemouth. It was. I spent the first week and a bit or so in Bournemouth. It was a really good holiday. It was much needed. It was just heaven, really. I mean, I was in my happy place. I haven't actually been to Bournemouth before, and on the basis of being able to actually look at it and tour it. But it was just a beautiful holiday. The sun was out. It was just a nice holiday. It was almost capturing the last little bits of summer, really. That, you know what I mean? No, I didn't. Honestly, I went for a holiday. I took the 4-hour journey because I wanted to go and visit some. Well, I don't know. It was a really nice holiday, though. And I'm sorry to say to all of you Northerners that officially in 2025, I have not travelled north of Manchester. So I apologise for that. In fact, yeah. It was a fully Southern-themed summer for pre-season this year. Couple of days. It was lovely, though. Like I said, I got some beautiful weather. The water park was nice. Actually, it was a really good water park down there. It's on a retail park, the water park in Bournemouth and Poole, just in Poole. However, don't judge it by that because it's got a great outdoor bit and an indoor bit. It's splashdown. It's good. I enjoyed it. Yeah, you should know me. If you know me well, you'll know that I love a good water park. So yeah, it was just it was a well-needed holiday, really, because I'd been down south to Brighton, yes, for football reasons, down south to Southampton again for football reasons, but again, yeah, I would have gone to the football if there was someone in Bournemouth, but there wasn't. But it was more or less about me getting a holiday, and yes, before you ask, I did get a look at the Vitality Stadium because I have got a sort of a YouTube supporter, if you like, down there. He follows me mainly on Snapchat, but watches the highlights back with his work buddies at the water park. Yeah, he works in the water park as well. And yeah, he well, when I was done at the water park, he gave me a lift out of Poole and back into Bournemouth, which was good of him. And yeah, on the way, he showed me Sandbanks and also the Vitality Stadium. Fingers crossed, Kate and Jonathan. I have got my fingers crossed because I do think we're going to beat Manchester City. I'm quite confident that we beat City, to be fair, this time around. I've not really got much doubt in my head, truthfully. And that's not me being overconfident. I just don't have much doubt. The dogs are barking. I wish they'd shut up. It'd be nice if you could point a remote control at dogs and just mute them. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm going to be here. The first Arsenal fixture of the season I will be attending is Arsenal against West Ham United. As part of my 3 o'clock guarantee, which is, of course, for me to be attending all 3 p.m. kickoffs that involve Arsenal this Premier League season, as well as the usual cup guarantee with the home cup games absolutely certainly being attended. Of course, if there's the final at Wembley, I'll attend that, and away games if I can get to them. Port Vale, I will not be attending. Like I said, the first home fixture for Arsenal I'll be attending this season is Arsenal against West Ham United on the last weekend before the Premier League. That is Saturday, the 4th of October. Arsenal v West Ham. It's my dogs. I've got 2 dogs. So yes, just a slight date for your diaries there. There will be no live streams on Saturday, the 4th of October, because I will be in attendance at the Emirates for Arsenal v West Ham United. Once again, there is a 3 o'clock guarantee in place this season where I attend all 3 p.m. kickoffs involving Arsenal if I can possibly do it. So yes, we'll go on that note. Names. They're Brody and Holly. And there aren't many Arsenal 3 o'clock kickoffs this season either. The Crystal Palace game was supposed to be a 3 o'clock kickoff, but that got moved to 2 o'clock on a Sunday. So now it's just a case of if I win the ballot, I'll go. If not, I'll sit back and watch it on TV. However, I am stepping up to make more effort to make sure that I attend home games and away games, if possible, that are scheduled for 3 p.m. on a Saturday. Luke Ayling got bodied there, and it will be a free kick. Here is Hegabon, the Middlesbrough striker, and now out wide to target. First 15 minutes, there's been no definite goals, really, or big misses. Very few of them. Yeah, I know. I've seen on your Facebook sometimes or your profile pictures that you've got a little dog. Yeah. I mean, I might be wrong, but it looks like a whippet, which is basically a mini greyhound, really. Is that what it is? Yeah. Is it a full greyhound or is it a whippet? There is actually an old bloke at the bottom of our street with 2 greyhounds, former racing dogs. And you can get them totally for free as well once they've retired. They are, well, yeah. I mean, you've got to train them, obviously, but yeah. I mean, he tells me, yeah, it's easy to get them for free. So, yeah. Because once they're retired, they aren't really wanted by their owners anymore. So, yeah, it's quite easy to get them at, well, either a very low price or for free. Well, Luke Ayling got his hand to his head there because free kick's been awarded for not really a massive foul by him, actually. It was a foul, but it's not a bad foul or a big foul. But one in which that Luke Ayling redded. What do you mean by redded? I don't know what you mean by redded. Well, there's the ball in, and Ayling made contact with his head. No corner, though. But the bag is. We are looking for 8 corners on the bet builder. And I did have quite a nice little bit of winnings yesterday, although I could have had retired. Yeah, that's what you mean. I was about to say. But I could have had £38, had Newcastle. Yes, Kate and Jonathan, you heard me. I had an Acca Insurance, which was a free bet, 50p free bet. And it was all correct, but it had no insurance. And it was requiring Newcastle to get a draw against Barcelona. And had they got a draw, that would have been a free bet converted to £38 and 17p. However, that did not quite happen, but I still got £5.90 with the bet builder winning because both teams scored and there was over 2.5 goals just. And Barcelona won, which was on a price boost for Barcelona City and Sporting all to win, which they all did. So it was £5.40 that I got. I mean, Barcelona just frustrated you defensively. But no, I wasn't after a win. I didn't think he'd win, so that's why I put draw. But yeah, it was a lot closer than I anticipated, really. Because I had teams like Eintracht Frankfurt on there, City. Obviously, you don't know if City are going to beat Napoli, but they did. I had Leverkusen to draw. I had Galatasaray to lose as well. But all came through well and correct, except for Newcastle. Obviously, with a normal Acca Insurance, that would have been a free bet. But obviously, I had an Acca Insurance on Wednesday when I was off, which turned into a free bet, which I used on Thursday, and it didn't quite work out. Oh, well. And by the way, I was let down on Wednesday because I had a draw for Swansea against Nottingham Forest, but Swansea got a late winner. So that's why that came back as a free bet. And that rolled over, of course, like I said, onto Thursday. And it was very close to being converted to a lovely sum of £38. Oh, you've got 2 straight home games. That's nice. That's cushy. That's good, actually, for you guys. When is that, actually? I don't want to go off track, but I do want to take a check, actually, as to when they are. I'm hoping that before the international break. I think they should be as well. It's not next week, though, because it's Carabao Cup action for the Champions League teams. Oh, it's a real chance. And Middlesbrough were close to getting the first goal. And the defending was a bit urgent in that situation. I am on Agua tonight, just because I've run out of Coke. So Agua for tonight. And being healthy. So we are back off and running then on the 30th of September. So Tuesday the 30th of September. And it is going to be Atlanta against Club Brugge. Kairat Almaty at home to Real Madrid. That should be an interesting game. Inter Milan go at home to Slavia Prague. That's an 8 o'clock kickoff. Then there's Chelsea against Benfica at Stamford Bridge. Atletico Madrid host Eintracht Frankfurt. Bodo Glimt are hosting Spurs. Then Olympique Marseille are hosting Ajax. Liverpool go away to Galatasaray. Bayern Munich go away to Paphos. And then Wednesday the 1st, we are at home to Olympiacos with Union SG hosting Newcastle. Qarabağ are hosting Copenhagen. Bayer Leverkusen against PSV Eindhoven. Villarreal against Juve. Napoli against Sporting Lisbon. Looks like a good game. As to the Villarreal against Juve, actually. Monaco against Manchester City. Borussia Dortmund against Athletic Club. And Barcelona against PSG. It's a shame that that's on the same night as Arsenal against Olympiacos. Otherwise, I would have been absolutely lapping that up and live for that. But yeah, no, for Newcastle, that's your next home game. But your next game in the Champions League is away, and it is away to Union SG. Welcome aboard, by the way, to Brian Watson. And a little bit of anger from a Middlesbrough fan, it appears. Top of the table and can't fill the ground. Empty seats all over. Yeah, that's a bit of a shame, actually, because Middlesbrough, you would feel, is probably quite a united town, a bit like Newcastle, really, because it's a one-club town. A large town, then, really, obviously. So you would feel as though, yeah, they're filling the ground. You know what I mean? That's what you'd think about Middlesbrough, but, I mean, I haven't seen many empty seats, but if that's what you're saying, then, well, that's not great, is it? Because you're top of the league. The spirit should be high. I mean, yeah, I can see now, actually, now you pointed it out, there's some gaps at the very bottom tiers, the bottom tiers of the stand, which is a shame. 21st of October. That's after the international break, I believe. So we're in the 25th minute. Got about 20 minutes to go till half time. And there's no goal yet in this clash between these two. Middlesbrough looking for an all-important victory, which would keep Stoke City away from them at the top of the table. There is only a 1-point gap for Middlesbrough, and if they slip and Stoke get a win tomorrow or Sunday, whenever they're playing, it could be a little bit catastrophic. and it could be a big setback for Middlesbrough. So they need to make sure that they get the 3 points to keep Stoke City out of arm's reach by just a point, though. Unless they slip 2. And Luke Ayling has played that one in. It is going to come out to the edge of the box. And it's going to be cleared away by the West Bromwich Albion number 6, who is George Campbell. I think you'll beat Union SG. I mean, what happened with Union SG, actually? Let's take a little look whilst we're at it. Where are you? See, they actually beat PSV Eindhoven. So PSV are a decent team. That's a decent win away from home to PSV Eindhoven for Union SG. However, yes, I think that Newcastle should beat them. But they did get a win against PSV, and that's not necessarily easy away from home. So not the easiest of tasks, but Newcastle should expect to win. Yes, Kate and Jonathan. And that's in to the back of the net for Middlesbrough. And they are one step closer to 3 points. And it's Stelluck with an all-important goal on Teesside. And the Riverside roars as they're saying, go away, Stoke City. We want the title. We want to be top. Well, there's the goal to get it started. It's a tap in the end. It was headed across and it just drops in time. And Stelluck gets the power as he stabs it home. A very important goal, as it's his first goal for David Strellick on Teesside. And in a season that has started like this for them, it's an important goal on every measure. It's early in the season, but Middlesbrough will want to make sure that by the end of this season, come April, May, they are top of the pile and they are the team who gets promoted to the Premier League and maybe, just maybe, lifts the silverware. So a very important goal for Middlesbrough, with Stoke City being so close to them at the minute. Well, we're back off and running, and Middlesbrough at the minute are the team defending, with West Brom knocking the ball around their own half, trying to get through the Middlesbrough shape, which is a good shape, although there might be a gap. Good covering by the fullback, though, to ensure there was no danger for Middlesbrough and the goalkeeper, Bryn. Hey, Ryan, welcome to you. How you doing, Ryan? Good to see you. Welcome aboard to you. Welcome aboard to Ryan. How you doing? My phone's beeping at me. And in fact, that reminds me that I do need to put my phone on charge, actually. So it's a good job it beeps at me then, because otherwise I would have not known it was there and it would have been on 22% battery, which would not have been good. Was Rashford goal push gas quality? The push gas award, you mean? It was a good goal. I don't know. I don't really follow these awards too much. I mean, what is the Push Gas Award? Can anybody tell me that? I mean, obviously, I know the Ballon d'Or. You know what I mean? But is that like goal of the season? Goal of what? Like, someone explain that one to me a little bit. But it was a good goal. The second goal was it was in off the bar. It was thundered into the back of the net, really. It was a thunderous strike. It was a good strike. If we're on about goal of the best, it's a contender. It's a contender. I mean, the way it went in off the underside of the bar was pretty special. But I don't know. Bit early in the season to maybe judge, I guess. Although it depends on when the Push Gas Award is being given. I mean, if it's the same day as the Ballon d'Or, then I suppose maybe, yes, it is the winner. But I'm not sure. Yeah, you should be, because Chelsea looked pretty shoddy against Bayern, to be fair. But it is the fixture. Remember what I told you? I have checked all the history books. There is no fixture in world football that has had more 1-1 draws than Manchester United Chelsea. This is world football we're talking about, not including internationals, of course. Club world football, there is no fixture that's had more 1-1 draws. Ever. So, I did see it. It was a cracking game. I mean, it went 1-1, 1-0 Dortmund, 1-1, 2-1 Dortmund, 2-2, and then it went 4-2 to Dortmund, and 2 late goals for Juve to come back. It was a thrilling game, really, actually, in the end. Yeah, I watched the highlights back. Great game. Some great goals as well. At the stadium, which is nicknamed the Old Lady, I think, in Italy. Oh, how long's Cole out for? You're not having him. You're not having him. He's the best centre-back in the world. And he belongs to Arsenal. I mean, we could loan you Saliba. Short-term loan till January, maybe. Probably Mosquera or Happy could cover for the rest of the season. For the rest of the season till January. You can't have Gabriel. That's no. There's no way. I couldn't. He's he's the best centre back in the world. So, well, look. Either way, definitely not Gabriel. That is the main thing. That you will have no chance. We're not going to just let go the best centre-back in the world, particularly when he's happy to play for us. I mean, he loves playing for us, actually. You can see it in him. You know what I mean? When he's around the pitch. Very passionate. Cares a lot about this club. So there's no way that he's going to go anywhere. Me? I'm not studying to become anything, pal, at the minute. Truthfully. I'm just on the job search at the minute, really. Sort of. Kind of a low-key one, though. I am doing maths and English at college at the minute. That's all I'm really doing. I'm just having a bit of a year of college life, really, because I've come out of an internship. I was supposed to be doing an extension on it, but it's been postponed. So at the minute, I'm just living a bit of college life, really, because I never got to live college life back when I was 16, 17, because I was a sixth form. which was totally different. So yeah, living a bit of college life now at the age of 19. I don't know what you mean by blue collar or white collar. To be honest with you, I don't. I mean, the only job really that I can associate with blue and white is, well, working for South Western Railway or the NHS, because their logo is obviously blue and white. Careful. My education didn't interrupt my it didn't interrupt my education, because I was in senior school when it happened. So no, it didn't interrupt my education. No, I was about year 9 when it happened. I guess. Oh, I'd be blue then. I'd be a blue collar. But no, I've not had interruption to my education. No, I just was in a sixth form from the age of 16 to 18. Then I went into an internship. Like I said, that was supposed to be extended a little bit this year. I also was going to do college on the side, but it's been postponed in a minute. But I would do blue collar. I don't see my dad very often, actually. He lives all the way up in Doncaster. Now, I don't see my dad that often, really, to be fair. I mean, I see him sometimes, but not that often. From a young age, my mum and dad have been separated, so it was always a case of bouncing back and forth, really. Spending, you know what I mean, living at my mum's, but obviously visiting my dad on weekends or something like that. That's fair enough. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe not the right thing to say to a stream on a stream, but it's okay. I understand. I mean, if you said that to Fogden, for example, not that he'd probably see the comment, but if he did see the comment, and particularly as well if you had a profile picture with your face on it, and you were to bump into him at a match, he might be put off by speaking to you. I mean, you can't really use Goldbridge for that example, because Goldbridge, let's face it, never leaves his room, really, does he? That's all right. Basically, a human skinned robot which repeats every word of Fabrizio Romano. I don't know. They're downstairs. Unless there's nobody home, which isn't the case, it's nothing to do with me, because I'm up here. They don't ever come upstairs. Well, unless I leave the gate open by accident, but they'll go straight back down, and I'll make sure to lock the gate. But no, they don't come upstairs ever. I mean, the girl anyway, she can't. Well, she wouldn't come up the stairs. It's the boy, Brody, who would come up the stairs if the gate was open. They are cuddly dogs, yeah, but I don't do it that often, no, because I'm not that much of a cuddler. to cats. Don't mind cats. But one thing I will say to you, female dogs, no, ignore that. Female cats, male dogs. Male dogs will always show you more respect than a female dog will. You trust me on that one. And female cats probably are nicer than male cats, because male cats can be quite grumpy. But yeah, for me personally, if I was to get my own dog, I would always make sure it's a male, because just not even because of the whole pregnancy thing, more for the fact that male dogs just show you a little bit more respect than females do. Not by much, but it is visible, particularly with my dogs. There is a substitution of 41 minutes here, which is Sam Silvera coming on for George Edmondson in the first half of Middlesbrough. And it's because of a dropped eyelid and a black eye, I think. Taking the blows to the face or something when I've not noticed. Well, yeah. We've only been able to see only been able to use one eye. Yeah, I think I'd understand why he's going off, because yeah, if he's a fullback or something like that and he can't see left or right, it's difficult for him to play. Chelsea Palace. Yeah, I know. I'm just doing a bit for the Championship, that's all. Every now and again, we do some Championship content just to kind of really, 11 votes on the poll so far then. 64% of tonight's viewing are backing Middlesbrough, with 27% backing West Bromwich Albion, and 9% of the voting has said draw. No. Because quite frankly, look, I don't want to sound mean here, but I honestly could not give two arses stuffs about that Palestine war. I'm more fussed about Ukraine and Russia, truthfully, to be honest with you. That's always been my stance. Not, like, obviously, I do read about it, and sometimes I feel emotion towards it, but my main priority is Ukraine-Russia until that's over. Now, obviously, of course, as well, I took it quite seriously when the breaking news came out, obviously, that Syria, had been basically freed because I think his name's Assad or something like that, had fled. They're now, by the way, in a very good state, Syria, almost a year since that news came through. They're now in good state, and they are now actually a free democracy country, just like England and the UK. It was a massive shock, but great news when that Syria news came out, because I was actually going to an Arsenal match, and I went into London. I was on Leicester Square. It was near Christmas time, and it was like you could see the Syrians all celebrating because they were all out there. And why wouldn't you be? So, yeah, for me personally, no, I would not be in favour of a boycott, because Israel is not hurting my feelings enough, if you know what I mean by that. No. We're fully English, mate. Although, strangely, both of my names are German. Yes, I had it confirmed. Both of my names are German. Yes, both. Not that we have any German roots in our family tree, but both of my names are German. My first name and my second name. And for heaven's sake, Thomas, yes, is a German name. But on here, I'm referred to as Tom anyway. And it doesn't really affect me that much anyway, because not too many people recognise it as a German name. But it is a German name. So we've got about 2 minutes and 10 seconds before the break. With Middlesbrough going in 1-0 up, but they might want to maybe get a second just to give them more hope of the 3 points, which are vital in the circumstances involving them and Stoke City at the minute. Remember, Middlesbrough, as things stand, up until Stoke play, well, they'll be 4 points clear if they win this until Stoke play either tomorrow or Sunday. But, of course, if Stoke win, then the gap is just 1 point. So it's important that Middlesbrough make sure that they keep getting the wins until Stoke slip. Because Stoke will slip and Middlesbrough will slip. But for Middlesbrough, they're 1 point clear at the top, so they'll be hoping that they can A, win, and B, that Stoke slip. It's always difficult to be that team that plays kind of before, really, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean? Because the pressure's on you to win. And then you've got to hope after you've won, or whatever your result is, that your opponents in the title race, which are currently Stoke City, slip. I mean, we've only got one Muslim player in England, actually. Well, we've only got one Muslim player for England, and that's Jed Spence. So that would not affect us. And the reason why I know that is because a couple of weeks ago, TNT Sports posted out that Jed Spence was the first Muslim player to play for England. So, yeah. That's the half-time whistle done. And it's 1-0 to Middlesbrough at the break. And they'll hope that they can maybe get another goal just to make sure that the 3 points belong to them against West Bromwich Albion. The half-time score at the break, Middlesbrough 1, West Bromwich Albion 0. Well, I don't think they'll have that many Muslim players, to be fair. We're not a Muslim nation. We're not a Muslim continent. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but most likely it's immigrants, really. People who've immigrated to a European country who are going to be Muslim, really. Unless you like, that kind of Israel area, you know what I mean? Israel, Palestine, Syria area of Europe, near Turkey, Eastern Europe. Like Western Europe is not that religious, to be fair, overall. I most certainly don't agree with it. I'm not disrespectful to people who are religious, but I don't agree with it. So Anyways, we're on the ad break at the minute. It is Middlesbrough 1-0 up against West Bromwich Albion. Let's take a look into the stats going into half-time. All stats and lineups, of course, are provided by Flash Score. When we are actually doing a championship match that requires me to have the lineups on the screen, but more often we use Sofa Score. So the XG, yes, Middlesbrough have got a higher one, 0.65, 0.34 for West Bromwich Albion. Theirs would have been higher in the first stages of the first half, but of course Middlesbrough found the goal. West Brom had more possession by 9%, 54% for them, 46% for Middlesbrough. 4 shots in total for Middlesbrough, 2 on target, and 1 on target from 6 for West Bromwich Albion. So that's probably an additional factor into the XG for the fact that there's been less shots on target from more shots from West Brom. We've had no corners. We've had no corners. That's not good for my bet builders, to be fair. We've had no corners. 0. Not 1. Two big chances, which were both Middlesbrough, none for the Baggies. There was a big chance at the early stage of the first half, although it may not be considered a big chance. Nobody's hit the woodwork. 4 shots outside the target between the two teams combined. 6 shots inside the box from the two teams combined. 2 block shots on West Bromwich Albion, none from Middlesbrough in the sense of the team defending the shots. No, the teams, yeah. And a save apiece. So we'll just check the bet builder off a little bit. And we'll tick over 0.5 goals because there is now 1 goal, which is over 0.5. No corners, so can't report on that. And then the price boost, we'll have a look at that in a minute, actually, for the scoreboards of Olympique Lyonnais and Real Betis. No, I don't do that shit. No. No, I don't. I don't care about it, and it's a risky game, so no, I avoid it now. A couple of times I've been scammed, really trying to get into it, but now I'm just like, yeah, no, leave it alone. Now, I'm not that kind of guy anyway, really. I prefer to hustle my way to money as opposed, like, yeah, I prefer to do hustles as opposed to that. I'm very much an outdoorsy person in the sense of I like to be out within big cities. So, yeah, I'm quite good at hustling. Let's take a look then at the Olympique Lyonnais score. And they are currently 0-0 against Angers. They're 51 minutes into that game. And the other game we're looking at is Real Betis against Real Sociedad. We want Real Betis to win that one. And they are just actually hitting half-time right now as we speak. They were on 45+5, but they've gone to in at half-time 1-1. There's a game in Serie A, which is 1-1 between Lecce and Cagliari. And then it's 2-0 to Stuttgart against St. Pauli in the German Bundesliga. Any other games that we're looking into? No. Not really, other than Belgium, Bahrain, Belarus, Azerbaijan, few in Austria, Armenia, Argentina, and Algeria and Albania. And African CONCACAF Champions League qualification as well. Not CONCACAF, CAF. Just, I don't know what that means, but anyway, there you go. There's your scores. I'm looking for a Real Betis win. I'm looking for a Lyon win. If they both come through alongside this one, that will be a £3.25 return off the 50p stake. And we're looking for 8 corners in the second half because we've had 0 in the first half. But because of the fact there was 0 in the first half, that now puts doubt into my head that we'll get anywhere near 8 in the second half. But we'll have to wait and see. Of course, there's going to be no loss. For me, I've got my £5 already. I had the £5.40 win yesterday off the 2 slips out of 4. One of which was a free bet. So yeah, £5.40. I spent £2 today. We got a little bit more money as well off a slot machine earlier. So at the minute, we're all good to go ahead of the weekend. So there's no real hurt today in losing any of these slips. It's just a bit of fun tonight. So we're not long away then from the second half, about 6 or 7 minutes, I'd say, probably, if that. There was 3 minutes at a time, so expected probably about 9:04. No, yeah, about 9:04. About 9:04, second half back underway. About that. 9:03, 9:04, approximately. And whilst we've got a gap in conversation and the content, let me remind you that tomorrow is a big Saturday. In fact, it's a big weekend in the Premier League this weekend. But tomorrow, we are going to be doing the Merseyside derby. That is at Anfield. Kickoff at Anfield is at 12:30. You can join us for that one from 12:15. It is live on TNT Sports 1 HD and TNT Sports Ultimate, a humongous Merseyside derby. Could Everton stop Liverpool in their tracks, as they've had shaky performances but are unbeaten so far in the Premier League? And then we've got the 3 o'clock focus, which is going to be our new addition to 3 o'clock on Saturdays on selected weekends, where we do our own version of Soccer Saturday, keeping our eyes across all 3 p.m. scores in the Premier League in particular, but also across the leagues in Scotland, Wales, and England, all the way down to the National League. And we'll also keep our eyes out on any international scores in Europe, particularly if they pop out to us and are of interest. Then we move on to Saturday 5:30, which is a big game as well. It's Manchester United against Chelsea. It's at Old Trafford. It is a 5:15 start for us, and it is the fixture. Like I told you all earlier, that is known for its 1-1 draws. Will it be another 1-1 draw, or will there be a winner at Old Trafford, or will there be a different scoreline on the draw? Will it be 2-2? Will it be 3-3? Will it be 0-0? We'll find out. And kickoff is at 5:30 tomorrow. And then your Super Sunday, there are 2 kickoffs at 2 o'clock, live on Sky. They include Bournemouth against Newcastle and Sunderland against Aston Villa. We've chosen to do Bournemouth against Newcastle. Kickoff is at 2 o'clock. You can join us at 1:45 on Super Sunday for Bournemouth against Newcastle. And then to finish up at 4:15, you can join us for the 4:30 kickoff at the Emirates Stadium of Arsenal against Manchester City, where I would expect Arsenal to win, for a massive fixture. Kickoff is at 4:30, and all the build-up from 4:15 in a huge fixture. There'll also be fan cams after the game has finished, and then we're taking the day off on Monday. So that is your weekend for game week number 5 on Realltom Football. And of course, midweek as well is going to be exciting. Tuesday and Wednesday, we've got Carabao Cup action coming to the forefront of focus. We will be live for both days of the Carabao Cup for Champions League teams only, of course. The non-Champions League sides, including Europa League and Europa Conference League sides, played this week in midweek. Next week, it is Champions League sides only against any opposition. So basically, it's Champions League sides drawn against any opposition that are not in the Champions League. So basically, it's Port Vale against Arsenal is one, And obviously the other Champions League teams will also play, and we will be live for both Tuesday and Wednesday. Selected game on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday it will be Port Vale against Arsenal with the kickoff at 8 o'clock, live on Sky Sports Main Event and Sky Sports Football, unless otherwise stated. So yes, that is pretty much what we've got for you this week. We've got Carabao Cup, we've got Premier League, we've got Championship. Yeah, it's just, yeah, we're not doing the Europa League, by the way. Yeah, we're not doing Europa League. We're doing Carabao Cup. Well, you guys should know on here, we are not a Europa League channel. We don't do that much of it. We'll do selected games on the odd occasion, but we aren't a Europa League channel. We, you know what I mean? I tend to focus on the Champions League anyway, but more so when Arsenal are in it. But if Arsenal are in the Europa League or the Conference League, then that will come to the forefront of my attention, as well as the Champions League. But obviously now Arsenal are in the Champions League and should be in the Champions League. So, yeah, that's the way we're rolling, really, with that. There's the goal. It's the first one for Strelec. Will Strelec's goal be the difference, or will there be more for Middlesbrough, or a potential West Bromwich Albion response? Just over a minute's time before the second half will get back underway. We're under the final bit of the advertisement break now, as they're advertising the Qatar Airways Azerbaijan Grand Prix qualifying and the main race, which is at 10:30 on Sunday. I don't do Formula One, but you guys may. I do football, and for Rob Edwards, it is so far so good for his Middlesbrough side. So yeah, just a moment now, folks, and we'll be getting the second half back underway. Yeah, just watching a SpreadX advert, which, yeah, they tend to do one long advert and then back onto the coverage. And indeed, that is what the case. Yes, one advert, we're back on the pitch in terms of our screens. So let's get back to the scoreboard and let's get back ready for the second half at the Riverside Stadium in Teesside for Middlesbrough against West Bromwich Albion. Whenever you're ready, we're ready for you. There's another change for Middlesbrough at the break. Cali Sene has gone. Wait, I think he's come on or off. One of the two things. I think he's coming on. So, yeah, there you go. Strelec, the goal scorer. Oh, dear. I don't think that's that's a bit of a bold change, actually. Strelec, the goal scorer of his first goal for Middlesbrough, has been replaced by Alex Sene. That is a rather strange and arguably uncalled for decision, but we'll see what Sene can offer. So, Middlesbrough in possession at the moment. Oh, nice little flick. And it could be played forward and through, but too heavy, the ball forward in the end. for the home side, Middlesbrough, who have one focus and one priority, and that's staying top of the league, staying clear of Stoke, hoping they slip, and gaining the 3 valuable points. And it's a good ball in by Jed Wallace from West Bromwich Albion, and the headed contact was not quite perfect, but could have been a lot more for the Baggies. And you would argue that that should be 1-1. Let's have a look at the replay here. It's a nice ball. It's whipped. And he probably just doesn't get high enough to get enough purchase on the headed contact. And he guides it wide of the target. Just a West Brom man. Great ball, though, by Jed Wallace. It was Isaac Price who made the headed contact there, which wasn't quite perfect. Not perfect enough to add major threat of striking the back of the Middlesbrough net. So they're back in possession. And they're going to want to get a second goal. They're going to want to get a 2-goal cushion to give themselves some security. And that's a nice ball through. Can they make the most of this attack? They've got a wide man free. Silvera is going to cut onside on his right foot. And he was a bit off balance. It's an ambitious attempt. It's off target. It's a goal kick. He's off balance, but he cuts it on his right foot. And he just can't get a good shot away, really. That's good defending by Middlesbrough to win the ball back quickly, and they're going to want to keep on recycling it, keep on going forward. They can rest easy once they've got a 2-goal lead, but a 1-0 lead, particularly when you're top of the perch, top of the table, is never one that is secure. Particularly when you've got Stoke City just 1 point behind you. If you do slip, well, you pay the price, perhaps. One of these teams will slip, Stoke or Middlesbrough. The question is who will slip first. Doesn't look like it'll be Borough tonight, but you never know what the Baggies can do. Well, here's Jed Wallace, the captain. He's got an overlap on the right. He ignores that overlap. He plays the ball into the box. It's come back out to Jed Wallace. He plays it on. Now it's out wide by Malumbi and then into the box, and comfortable defending from Middlesbrough. And that's a ball over the top. It's going to be the substitute, Sene, to chase it, but runs comfortably through to Griffith in the West Brom goal. Here's Campbell. And now Jed Wallace ricochets back off Matt Target with the block in. And it's a quick throw in for West Brom. Malumbi. Now Mepham, the former Bournemouth player, Chris Mepham. West Brom forced back by the Middlesbrough attack. That's not stayed in for Jed Wallace. And Jed Wallace plays it across. It's a nice ball through to the centre of the box. But he couldn't quite adjust his body to get the shot away. And then there was a Middlesbrough body in the way of him by the time he was ready to get the shot away. And that West Brom attack fizzled out. Only 2 likes. Make sure you are smashing that like button, folks, if you are new or if you are a regular. Either way, we appreciate it. It's free of charge. Also, hit that subscribe button if you are new and share channel out with your friends. All 3 of those things, or all 4 of those things, whatever it is, are free of charge and help the channel out humongously. Let's try and get to at least 5 likes, people, if we can. UK ball in, comfortable claim though for Bryn. He has got the higher flash score rating over Griffiths in the West Brom goal. Oh, it's a chance, and Jed Wallace wide. Fed by Mowat, and Jed Wallace couldn't quite strike it on target. Bit of a dragged shot from Jed Wallace. In a central position, slightly drags the shot. Well, it may come as a surprise that Luke Ayling has actually got the best flash score rating so far out of all the players on the pitch. In a West Brom shirt. Not a West Brom shirt, in a Middlesbrough shirt. Not seen too much of him, Luke Ayling, but he's got the best flash score rating out of the back 3. Yes, I do remember that name, Luke Ayling, you know, back from the Leeds United days when they were in the Premier League for a couple of seasons. In these Leeds United days, it's a different Leeds. It's quite a lot of new players, actually. There's no Patrick Bamford anymore. There's no Luke Ayling. There's no. I don't think Stuart Dallas is there. So it's a different Leeds. And Sene's applying the high press there. Jed Wallace. Mower out wide to the right. And that's a nice ball. And Jed Wallace attempts to cross. It's blocked and cleared away. Out for a Baggies front. A front-footed start to the second half from West Bromwich Albion. Middlesbrough need to keep them out and try and get that second goal. At the moment, it's going to come off surprise if they get a second goal. Luke Ayling couldn't quite bring Middlesbrough away there. They've won it back, West Bromwich Albion, and Mowat shot. He was leaning back, I think, and it whistles over the bar and into the stands. Yeah, Luke Ayling just gets caught out there. Wearing that captain's armband in this second half, Luke Ayling as well. But just gets caught out as he's trying to bring Middlesbrough up the pitch. Hackney. Oh, nice. Here's who's number 2? Britton on the wide right. And Britton, there was a tackle on him. It's out for a throw-in. Middlesbrough still got the possession in the attacking half as well. Could have been a bit better with decision-making there, Britton, you feel. Driving down that wing is always the best route towards goal. He just got caught in his tracks because he was in two minds as to where to go. But if you're a fullback, right fullback, you run down the right wing and you go to the byline, or you play it to your winger. And the exact same thing if you're a left fullback. And that's a brilliant strike. Hit thunderously and forced a magnificent save off Griffiths. It was Neepen. What an effort. So Middlesbrough corner, Matt Target strolling across the corner flag with a smirk on his face at the West Bromwich Albion fans who were booing him. And that's a very good delivery by Matt Target. I liked it. Just the right kind of height. Was central as well. Good corner. Defended well enough there by West Bromwich Albion. They're going to have to recycle it again, Middlesbrough. Acne. Senate. I want to check those stats again because we should be more updated on the corners. 1. Oh, come on. Up just a bit. Up. Ever so down. Oh, no, too far. Oh. No, down. There. Yeah, perfect. Got it. I got to get... You see, the thing is with these flash scores, you've got to make sure that you scroll down away... Because you only want to see the lineup. Do you know what I mean by that? So you've got to make sure you get your scroller just right. Perfectly on to the lineup bit. So that you can just see the lineup, but you can't see the clock or the score. And every time I want to press stats or another button on my on the match center in flash score, I have to do it again. We're just about to hit the hour mark. It's a West Brom attack. It's flicked on in the box. And not quite clear. And that's a shot. And oh dear, Kise hit it powerfully. But he got down quickly, did Bryn, to make the save, which was a good one as well. Quick reaction. And needed to be. Powerful effort once again by Diaguito. And the West Brom threat is there in the second half. But Middlesbrough standing strong at the moment. And that's what I mean. A second goal would be a great cushion to just ensure that the job is done. I know. Real chance here. It's worked and it's a goal. And it's Teesside joy as it's 2-0 to Middlesbrough. And that's exactly what they needed, just as West Brom were building the threat. Middlesbrough find their second, and a second which could seal a victory, which keeps them top of the league at the end of the weekend. Big goal, a vital one, and it comes from Sene, the substitute. Could that be the settling second? Could that be enough for Middlesbrough to beat West Bromwich Albion and get the 3 points, you would think so. There's still just under half an hour to go, but that's a big goal for Middlesbrough. And Sene, the substitute, within around about 16, 17 minutes of his appearance, has made an impact. One in which that is vital, and he curls it round the defender, number 6 for West Bromwich Albion, who is Campbell. Curls it round him, goes in off the post. Great finish, great goal. One in which, like I said, is of huge importance, and it's Teesside joy in the stands of the Riverside Stadium. So there is going to be 2 changes, and Jed Wallace, the captain for West Bromwich Albion, is going off. There's some Middlesbrough changes as well. We've got Tommy Conway going off to be replaced by Alan Brown. Sorry. No, yeah, that's right. Tommy Conway off, Alan Brown on for Middlesbrough. And the baggage changes were Toby Collier, I think. I'll just ensure that name is correct. I think it is, to replace Alex Mowat. And then, yeah, Johnston for Jed Wallace. Yeah, there you go. Well, Johnston, first touch of the game for him. The bag is back on the front foot after the Middlesbrough goal, which came, you would say, at the perfect time, really. It was a very well-timed goal for Middlesbrough, one in which, come at just at the right time. And depending on the way the game pans out, it could be a really important goal from the substitute Sene. Because every set of 3 points for both Stoke City and Middlesbrough are valuable. Because at the minute, the title race is those 2 teams. So, and I alluded to how if Middlesbrough can go all the way this season and get a promotion or get a playoffs win or an automatic promotion or a league title, that's big for Roy Edwards. That is big because of the way the things went out for Luton. Like I said earlier in the stream, obviously the way it happened with Luton is he finished a great, one of the best stories in football for Luton, but it ended in a bad way because they got relegated from the Premier League. Yes, that's okay, but then got relegated twice in a row to League One, obviously, afterwards. So, bad ending for Rob Edwards, but this is a chance this season for him as Middlesbrough manager to revive himself almost as a manager and get himself a big achievement for a club who has got a lot of history actually in Middlesbrough and a club who would love to be back up at the top tier. So we'll see how it pans out for them, but it's very important for Middlesbrough that they ensure that they keep getting those points and they try and stay on top for as long as they can. And if they can go all the way, it'd be a magical moment for English football, because we've had quite a lot of Norwich, Watford, or Sheffield United, Leicester, in that kind of thing. But this is refreshing to see Middlesbrough and Stoke going for it. So and obviously both of them, if they go all the way, they can both get automatic promotion if they stay second and top, but only one can win the league title, and that's the excitement about it, because they're both competing for a league title, but they're both also wanting that automatic promotion. They can both get it if they're both second and top, but only one can win the trophy. And that's the difference between automatic promotion and Premier and playoffs. Because the playoffs is exciting. You get a trophy at the end of it. You feel amazing. You go to Wembley. But obviously with the automatics, one wins the title, one finishes second place, but still earns promotion. So there you go. And I'm hoping that, to be fair, that Coventry do the playoffs. I hope that Coventry come through the playoffs. I don't think Coventry will win the league. I don't think Coventry will get automatic, although Ipswich surprised us. I think it will be a case of a Coventry playoffs win. I think they'll get there. But we'll have to wait and see. There's a long way to go in the season. Campbell, good ball. Well defended, done. I think it came off target. Might be wrong. And Tyrese Campbell's having a complaint to, I think, the assistant referee. Might have to go and visit Middlesbrough, actually. Have a little look at the Riverside Stadium. Maybe a nice winter trip up to the northeast would be good. We'll see. We'll see what we can do. So, on the turn, could Middlesbrough maybe threaten to get a third? Well, that's deflected behind for a corner. Britain's cross took a deflection off Styles, and it's out for a Borough corner. Matt Target has caused problems with his set-piece deliveries. Can he cause another problem to West Bromwich Albion with this one? It's another really good delivery as well, with Ayling free as well. Cleared away, though, by West Bromwich Albion. They're going to recycle the ball, hopefully. There's a slight tackle in there. Sene doing everything he can to retrieve the ball. Didn't quite work out. It's been cleared back by West Brom all the way back to Bryn. Bryn, yeah, in the Middlesbrough goal. So 19 minutes to go. Middlesbrough 2 goals ahead. And the result, if it stays this way, that will be of huge significance for them. Phillips. Nat Phillips, to be exact. Diakite. Being held by Sene. Couldn't quite turn round him, but had a man behind him in support. West Brom keep the ball, slowly creeping forward, the Baggies. But the most important factor of the game is that Middlesbrough have got a 2-0 lead. And as I say that, a slight stumble there from West Bromwich Albion's number 11, Johnston. Misread the pass and has conceded a throw, which will be beneficial to Middlesbrough. Targets. Done well. Holds off his man under slight pressure. Gets him back to the goalkeeper, no problem. Looking good in the Middlesbrough shirt, Matt Target. Sort of a lost cause, really, at the end of his time at Aston Villa. Haven't really heard much about him either since he left Aston Villa, but I can see that he's playing well in the Middlesbrough shirt. He's an important man to Middlesbrough, and he's making an impact at Middlesbrough. And he's part of potentially a season that could be really special for this club. Like I said, if they go all the way. Well, the ranks, goals conceded, they're joint first with 3 conceded, 3 clean sheets, again, joint first. Defensive and attacking stats are top marks for the top team at the minute. And I'm referring to Middlesbrough. In response to that Sky graphic, which came up on the screen. Campbell, the wide option. On the right, short ball. Johnston. He's going to have to go round his man and play a cross in, and it's comfortable defending for Middlesbrough. It has come back out. That's a really well-timed challenge, actually, by Sene. It was a 50-50 cruncher, but it worked out well. And well, there's 1 against 3 defenders for Middlesbrough. And he was on his own, Naipen, but had a go. Needed some support, though, you feel there. Just shy of 60 minutes remain on Teesside, where every game for Middlesbrough will feel like a big game. And Kamar has arrived. Welcome into Kamar. How are you doing? Welcome aboard to you, Kamar Singh. Here's Toby Collier, I think, anyway. Don't count me on that, but I think his name's Toby Collier. Former Manchester United player. I think, if my memory serves me right, that is correct. I think. I'm not sure. I'm not too sure, but I think. Johnston, ball across, and there was a flick. It could have been a goal back for West Brom, but not quite for Jason Malumbi. And now that is a foul, and it's not a great one either from the West Brom point of view. Potentially yellow card territory. And the referee's decision is pending. I don't think a card's been issued, but I might be wrong. And I can see that Josh Maja, I believe, might be wrong, but it looks like Josh Maja is getting ready to come off for Fulham for West Bromwich Albion. And I do remember his face. That is Josh Maja, and he's coming on to replace Usman Diakite for the Baggies. He did formerly play for Fulham, Josh Maja. Quite an influential player back in his Fulham days. Can he be an influence for West Bromwich Albion against Middlesbrough. Was being held to the Sene, no foul. Referee deemed it to be fair enough. Probably agree just about. And here's Tyrese Campbell for West Brom. The clock is ticking down for Middlesbrough as they're getting closer to 3 points, and they've done what they needed to do. They got that 2-goal cushion. And they should see out the result. They need to see out the result. That's absolute easy peasy work for the goalkeeper Bryn that time. Comfortable catch for him. Is it alone for Toby Collier, is it? There will be no Spurs watch along, no. We're now doing the 3 o'clock focus, so no individual matches anymore. Spurs are kicking up at 3 o'clock tomorrow. They're live against Brighton of Albion away. So we will be keeping an eye on the score, but there'll be no individual watch along for it, no. We've got 4 or 5 Premier League 3 p.m. kickoffs tomorrow to keep our eyes on. And that will be all part of the 3 o'clock focus with all the scores in England, Wales and Scotland, particularly Premier League scores, as well as scores internationally as well for club level. Kept an eye on. We might want to keep an eye on the Middlesbrough attack here. That was a foul in the back of number 2, who is Britain. Could be a yellow card. It's most certainly a foul and absolute definitely a free kick. That boot's quite high, you know, actually. Look at that. It's not clever. It's a very high boot. Almost reaches the armpit of Britain. And the stud to show him. Potential red card territory, that, if he causes an issue to the ribs of Britain, really, to be fair. It's a very high boot. But nevertheless, Britain's okay. And there are Middlesbrough changes in order here. And it's a double change. It's Whittaker and Kante on to replace Naipan and Hackney for Middlesbrough with 10.5 minutes to go on tea time. And just to correct the names, Morgan Whittaker, I think. Abdullah Kante. So free kick, fairly good position for Middlesbrough to potentially create a problem. Luke Ayling and Morgan Whittaker looking dangerous in the box. It was not a bad delivery from Middlesbrough yet again. Have no bad words about their deliveries in this game. It's been 2 deliveries that have created some very important goals for the team in red and the team who are top of the championship table and might look to get a 3rd here, but not quite that time. It's good sweeping up there. Wide to the left again. Johnston, we're corner. Bit of a high five there between the goalkeeper and the fullback. And corner to West Bromwich Albion. 8.5 minutes to play. Was added time. And to their post, well defended, comfortably defended by Middlesbrough. And that's a dangerous ball in, and the goalkeeper felt he had to do some work there. He punched it away, and effectively, could Morgan Whittaker break free? No, but it's a throw into Middlesbrough. It's great goalkeeping by Bryn. Decisive punch away. And one in which that got the ball well clear as well. It was a very good punch. They're going to want to get one more, I think. Middlesbrough, just for fun now, really. I think the result is all but set in stone. I think they would like to get a third goal. They seem eager enough to. They've just got to be careful of West Brom on the counter-attack or just the attack, because they have had dangerous moments, West Brom, but Middlesbrough have dealt with it up until this point. That's an important block. Body on the line. West Brom, though, have the ball again with Malumbi. And it's not a foul. It's a bit of a wrestle. And Campbell wrestled to the ground, but fairly, as Middlesbrough retrieve the ball and pump it upfield. Selle was a bit off balance. Couldn't really get much push on the ball as he touched it. He was crowded out by the West Brom players. West Brom maybe trying to force a late comeback if they can. That won't help Middlesbrough if they do, and that's a big block on the line. And Middlesbrough clear it away. Are you a Corinthians supporter in Brazil? Are you? Welcome aboard to Corinthians Mina Paixão from Brazil. Welcome aboard. 6 minutes to go on Teesside. Johnston faced with Britain, who's looking like a strong defensive stance at full-back. Malumbi was off balance, got it to his teammate. Tyrese Campbell back central. Malumbi. And Mepham onto Johnston, looking to wriggle the ball through, but no threat on it. And Middlesbrough can pass it clear. And can they now get another attack in and potentially create the third goal, which would absolutely set the result in stone? Well, Morgan Whittaker. And good tackle. But still alive, the attack. Whittaker couldn't quite fully make his turn. With the ball at his feet. Under 5 minutes to go now. Just under. Middlesbrough ever closer to another set of important 3 points. Badger. Will be a corner to West Bromwich Albion. Good defending by Middlesbrough at the moment. I want to keep that clean sheet. And they won't want a threat of a comeback late on. It's a very high corner. It looks dangerous. It might pop for Malumbi. It's strong enough defending. And Whittaker surely's won a foul there. Yes. Yes, he has. Not a great challenge at all. Referee's kept his cards in his pocket tonight. It's been a couple of those types of tackles. Yeah, that big game tomorrow there. We talk about Stoke City being so close to Middlesbrough. They're away to Queen's Park Rangers now. This result will put Middlesbrough at ease a little bit because no matter what Stoke do tomorrow, if they can get the result here, Middlesbrough, and finish this job off with about 2 minutes to go, plus added time, then that just means that Stoke, yeah, they'll probably want to win. They probably will at QPR, but just a bit of a sigh of relief. They can relax because that 1 point gap still it's intact. But of course, Middlesbrough, they'll hope that Stoke City slip up in London tomorrow. West London, to be exact. Not too far away from Stamford Bridge and Craven Cottage is Loftus Road, Maytrade Loftus Road, home of QPR. About an hour and a half, 2 hours journey max to London Euston from Stoke Station. Maybe a 2.5 hour drive at the max. So not too far of a travel for Stoke. We're into the last minute of the 90. A bit too late to say 90 seconds of the 90, so minute of the 90 remaining. And there is a problem in the 90th minute. What looks to be a Middlesbrough player lifting his boot up. Might be an ankle problem for him. And it's not a great run of games either. Southampton away. Oh, it's a goal back. But well, it is going to count. And that's the clean sheet gone. And that might just add a bit of a nervy ending, an unnecessary factor into a game that's gone well for Middlesbrough. Flew into the net, completely unsuspected out of nowhere. Well, how much out of time is there going to be? They're going to look to respond quickly. It's 5 minutes out of time, and that's a shot well over the bar. But that's a nervy factor into the game, an unnecessary factor as well, really, you would argue. 5 minutes to hold on. And that's what I mean about that 2-goal cushion. It's important they got it because now that 2-goal cushion has been reduced to 1. Had it been 1-0, it'd be 1-1. So it's a good job that Middlesbrough got that second goal when they did. It was absolutely out of no. It was completely unsuspected, that goal. I mean, yes, West Brom have carried a threat, but the way it went into the back of the net, it just caught everybody off guard, I think. Not unless Chelsea win. Only if Chelsea win If Manchester United win, we both go about our days and nothing happens. If it's a draw, you can't say the word Chelsea for a month. Here's Jason Malumbi. Tyrese Campbell swings the ball in, and it's dangerous. But it goes out of harm's way. And there's 3 minutes left for Middlesbrough to hold on. No. You can't say the word Chelsea at all. Because me not shaving myself affects me in life and in the stream. So no, you can't say it at all. No, you can't. You can't. Because not shaving for a month will affect my life outside. Well, of course it's a deal. The bet's off if you don't agree to that, because shaving doesn't just affect my life in the streams, it affects my life outside the streams, because I have still got the hair on, even though I'm not streaming. So it wouldn't be fair. That'll be a throw-in. And a bit of a cheer from the Middlesbrough fans. 2 minutes to go. They just need to see this out. That's 90 seconds of the 5 added on. And it didn't quite work out on the attack for Middlesbrough. There'll be a West Brom counter. The question is, how dangerous and how threatening will it be? Middlesbrough will hope not too much. Ball into the box from Price. And Conte there to clear away from Middlesbrough. The final minute now. A deal is a deal. Less than a minute to go. Headed on. Madge is in there. Could be a chance. They've got to get it clear. They do. And the offside flag is up anyway. And that will allow Middlesbrough a free kick and to slow the game down. But Rob Edwards is doing this to his players, saying, drill it into your heads. Get your heads together. See this out now. Well, they think it's done in the stands, and it nearly is. Just a few more seconds. Well, that's it. That's the full-time whistle. There's no time for the free kick. And it's an important win for Middlesbrough as they continue their surprise early season title charge. And it means that no matter what Stoke do tomorrow at Loftus Road, Middlesbrough will be the team top of the league table in the Championship come the end of this weekend. The final score then on Teesside is Middlesbrough 2, West Bromwich Albion 1. The final score, once again at the Riverside Stadium, Middlesbrough 2, West Brom 1 is the final score. Well, two strikers getting the goals. Of course, the first goal for Strellick, Middlesbrough's first goal for Middlesbrough, came in the first half, but he was subbed off for Sene, who got that all-important second goal just about on the hour mark, and it was a really important goal in the end because obviously I said you need a 2-goal cushion just in case. So they got that 2-goal cushion, but it was interrupted by West Bromwich Albion. So a very important goal by the substitute, Sene, in the end, proved to be the goal that won it because of the late goal from West Bromwich Albion. So the final score then, once again on Teesside, is a 2-1 win for Middlesbrough, sealed by Sene in the second half. So it is 2 back-to-back defeats for West Brom, 1 at the Hawthorns, 1 away from home. They're both by 1-goal margins. And we'll take a look at the league table then. So in a minute, the gap is 4 points between Stoke City and Middlesbrough until Stoke play tomorrow at Medtrade Loftus Road. And it will be pressure on Stoke to make sure that they get the 3 points tomorrow, with the fact of the matter being now that the gap will be 4 points for them if they don't win at Loftus Road tomorrow. A draw would put the gap to 3 points, but it would be a big blow. But that's the way title races work, and it's a big story developing between Middlesbrough and Stoke City. And tomorrow, Leicester as well might be able to have a bit of a say, move themselves onto 13 points. If they beat Coventry City, who are the side who I want promoted, they can move level on points with Stoke if they lose tomorrow, which would be a case of actually getting themselves into the top 2, Coventry City as well. If Stoke lose, because of the goal difference, they've got the best goal difference alongside Leicester. Both Leicester and Coventry have got +8 goal difference. So yes, that'd be huge if Stoke lost tomorrow and Coventry won. As for West Bromwich Albion, they're on 10 points, but now they are in a position where they could be knocked completely out of the top 6 with teams like Swansea, Preston, Portsmouth and Norwich all lurking around. So a big Saturday tomorrow in the Championship, but Middlesbrough, the main headline of the day, will finish this weekend top of the Championship table. Thank you all for your company tonight, people. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow for another Premier League weekend of football, and it begins with the Merseyside derby tomorrow at 12:15.
Walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. I need you to hear, and don't show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul.